Hi you guys, I'm John Wubble and I run a railroad called the All Nation Line. When I was a kid, every Friday night, my grandfather would take me to the Garfield Clarendon Model Railroad Club in Chicago. I'd bring a box of freight cars hoping the engineers would let me run them on their massive layout. The Pike was a maze of tracks, signals, and miniature towns, complex and beautiful. I wasn't the one at the controls, but watching those trains roll through the scenery that was meticulously built and cared for, that was magic. Well, recently I've given a lot of thought to a topic and a title to which this video should be. I'll call it Bridging the Divide. Why O-scale and L-gauge modelers need each other. Years later, I still think about those Friday nights, but I've noticed something troubling. The communities that share this passion for model railroading rarely share the same space. So I would like to talk on a couple of topics in this brief video, and the first of which is I'll title Two Rails, Two Worlds. O-scale and L-gauge have more in common than most model railroaders realize. Both run on two rails. Both communities have moved steadily towards greater realism over the years. Better detail, true to scale freight cars, sophisticated scenery. Even Lionel trains, once dismissed as toys by serious modelers, now feature impressive scale accuracy thanks to modern technology. Yet, we walk into an O-scale convention and you won't find many Lego brick model railroaders. You visit a brick train show and O-scale enthusiasts are notably absent. We occasionally cross paths at mixed scale train meets and conventions like the Milwaukee Train Fest, but those moments are rare. Why the separation? So the next topic I'll call the spectrum of detail. On the surface, these communities seem like polar opposites. O-scale modelers might be rivet counters obsessing over prototype accuracy down to the millimeter. L-gauge builders embrace imagination, creativity, everything from highly detailed replicas to whimsical fantasy layouts that blur the line between realism and creativity. Now, the purists on both sides can be critical. Some brick modelers argue that straying too far toward prototype accuracy loses the essential character of Lego architecture. Meanwhile, an O-scale enthusiast might insist that unless you're faithful to the prototype, you're not a true fine-scale modeler. Well, I guess that's okay if that's what you want to be. But here's what gets lost in the debate. Most of us live in the middle ground. We appreciate detail where it matters and forgive imperfections that don't. We can overlook that third rail that looks out of place in an O-scale world, and we can accept brick track work that's stylized rather than realistic. Because ultimately, we all just want to run trains. So the next topic I want to discuss is the interoperability question. I feel this is one area that could bring us together. The track gauge for O-scale OW5 and L-gauge is nearly identical. It's very close. So why haven't we solved the interoperability problem? Imagine this. You arrive at a fellow modeler's house with a box of freight cars. In seconds, you swap out L-gauge trucks for OW5 trucks and run your cars on their layout. Or you take your O-scale freight cars and attach an L-gauge truck set and watch them roll across the Lego landscape. The technology already exists. All Nation's simple, innovative truck mounting system lets you change real wheel sets in 2 seconds without tools. Brick Model Railroader, a business in York, Pennsylvania, now offers KD compatible couplers for L-gauge, the same industry standard used across O-scale. The barriers aren't technical anymore, or necessarily, they're social. So, what we're missing? Both communities have developed modular layouts. Both are adopting power onboard systems like Bluenami. Both love the thrill of seeing trains come alive on carefully crafted landscapes. The real question is, why aren't we building together? Those subtle differences that seem so important, OW5 versus L-gauge, prototype accuracy versus creative freedom, fade into the background when the trains start running. What remains is the camaraderie when we get together, the shared stories, the joy of problem solving together, and the satisfaction of showing someone else what you've built. That's why we go to train shows in the first place. Lastly, running toward each other. My grandfather understood something fundamental about this hobby. It's better when it's shared. Those Friday nights weren't about whether my freight cars met every technical specification in order to run on the pike. They were about belonging to something larger than myself. Maybe it's time we invited each other across that invisible divide. The O-scale modeler who visits a brick train show might discover new building techniques. The L-gauge enthusiast at an O-scale convention might be inspired in weathering techniques and methods or scenery details. We run on 2 rails. Maybe it's time we ran on the same track. What about building bridges? The trucks can be swapped, the couplers can be standardized. The only thing missing is us reaching across the aisle. A box of trains in hand and ready to run. I should like to thank you for supporting our channel and the models we are able to provide at the All Nation line. If you like this video, I would hope you will share it with your friends. And I would like to also mention that we do have the truck kits available for truck interchange between L-gauge and O-scale. It's kind of a new adventure to introduce ourselves to each other, and I hope that it will add a lot more enjoyment to the hobby for all of you. Thank you.